What is condensation, and how does water vapor condense? Imagine walking into a room on a cold day and seeing water droplets form on the mirror or the window. That's condensation in action, a natural part of how water moves around us. It might seem simple, but it's actually a key piece of the water cycle and how water changes states. When water vapor, which is water in its gaseous form, cools down, it turns into liquid water. This change happens because the water molecules lose energy and slow down. When they slow enough, they stick together and form tiny droplets of water. Think of it like a crowd of people slowing down and holding onto each other when the temperature drops. In the atmosphere, this process is what makes clouds appear. Warm, moist air rises and cools as it gets higher in the sky. As the air cools, the water vapor it carries begins to condense around tiny particles called condensation nuclei. These particles can be dust, salt, or other small bits floating in the air. When enough water vapor condenses around these particles, clouds form. If the droplets in the clouds grow large enough and become heavy, they fall as rain or snow. Condensation also happens on surfaces. For example, when humid air touches a cold window, the air right next to the glass cools down. The water vapor in that air turns into liquid droplets on the glass, creating a foggy or wet look. This is why you see dew on grass early in the morning after a chilly night. The cooler the surface, the faster the water vapor condenses. The speed of condensation depends on a few things. Colder temperatures make condensation happen faster because they take away energy from the water vapor more quickly. If the air has a lot of water vapor, condensation is more likely because there are more molecules to come together. The tiny particles in the air, called condensation nuclei, help by giving water molecules something to stick to. Without these particles, it would be harder for water vapor to turn into liquid droplets. Condensation is important because it drives weather patterns and helps distribute water across the planet. It's what creates fog, dew, and clouds. When clouds get heavy enough, they releases water back to the ground, completing the water cycle. Understanding how water vapor condenses helps us predict weather, manage water resources, and see how water moves through our environment every day. So, in simple terms, condensation is water vapor turning into liquid water when it cools down, and it happens all around us in many familiar ways.